take center stage. Black and gold meet the Black Shirts.
What's going on, everybody? Fall in at attention. You are locked into a great and another episode of the Husker Army podcast, brought to you by Hurrdat Sports, and of course the folks over at the Real Husker Army fan page 2024 over on Facebook. Go check them out. Become a member, will ya? Real quick, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Helps us out. Leave a comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Let us know if you agree, disagree. Trust me, we'll get back to you. Guaranteed. So, I am your host, Bryan Knutzen. With me, as always, former Husker wide receiver and multi-time national champ, Mr. Kenny Cheatham, a.k.a. KC. Our recruiting guru, Matt Sass, taking the night off. His voice could not recover for tonight. And that's why we had to push it till, Christ, it's almost 8 o'clock at night here in Nebraska, 6 o'clock in Arizona for you, Kenny. You've been traveling all day. My voice needed to recover. You needed to get home. So we needed to push everything back. But my God. Oh, and the opening clip, everybody, brought to you by two members of that 1994 national championship team, Clester Johnson, Abdul Muhammad. Texted those gentlemen. They sent me some clips of their personal videos. Thank you so much, guys. I truly appreciate that. Oh, let me go ahead and just plug the merch really quick. You know, we got some merch going on. If you go over to hurrdatsports.com, click on the merch icon or the little pop-down window, whatever it might be. You're going to find our merch. And trust me, you guys are going to love it. Those are not the only colors and shirts and hats and beanies you can get. So don't worry about that. Plenty of other colors to get. Plenty of other designs. You can get the shirt with the hap on the front and a huge logo on the back. Or you can get it like it shows there. Logo on the front and hap on the back. It really helps us out. Become a supporter of the Husker Army podcast. We truly appreciate it. You get something, take a picture of it, send it to us on Twitter, tag us in it, and you will automatically become enlisted into the Husker Army. So we'll make a personalized graphic for you and all that. We'll get that out of the way. One part of bad news is we are going to have to postpone the charity golf event that was scheduled for October 12th. We're going to postpone it until this next summer. We had some things come up that unfortunately we had no control over. Ken let me know about it, so that is postponed for now. But it is going to happen this next summer. Gives us more time to plan it out. Ken may find some new and exciting things to throw in there. So, got that out of the way. Kenny, we got to talk about it, brother. My God, I couldn't be more happy. I gotta calm down. I don't want to lose my voice again. Oh, dear Lord, but it was beautiful, brother. We take the W in Lincoln, 28-10. This game was never in doubt. It was domination, especially by the defense, from literally the first snap of the game for Colorado till the end. Relentless pressure, relentless pursuit. Offense did their job as well, putting up 21 points in the first half. Granted, I know You got shut out in the second half, but hey, a lot of things happened in that second half that even the horrible TV broadcast that was given to us were pointing out how bad a lot of these calls were and how screwed we were getting. Now, granted, some screwed over Colorado too. But hey, it doesn't matter. A win is a win. It's 28-10. It was never in doubt. Prime's going home crying. Shiloh Sanders gets his forearm broken by one of our running backs. And Shedeur Sanders leaves the field with 2 minutes to go instead of staying out there to shake hands like a little bitch. But it was great. Kenny, you were there. They were honoring you guys, the 1994 National Championship team. You got to see clips from Clester and Abdul there of the tunnel walk you guys got to experience. What was it like, man? Did it bring back those memories? Did you have the goosebumps?
Man, it was something to be a part of, bro. It really was. As everyone knows, I was a redshirt freshman during that year. So that was my freshman year at the University of Nebraska. But you're on that team. You are a member of that championship team. So for myself, Jay Foreman, like Eric Warfield, my boy Sheldon Jackson was there. Travis Toline, a lot of cats that were in my class. Octavius McFarland, Grant Wistrom, who they had played that year. Few more, Chevin Wiggins, my boys. Man, it was good for us to be back. So what we did is we all fell back, especially the ones of us who redshirted and stayed in our place as this is the big dogs moment. Okay. We're there for them as part of these teams, but we're going to ride in the back. We're going to come out last because this is their shine. They deserve this. They earned this. We did as well, but we weren't up front in the trenches like they were. So it was just great to be a part of. Great to see a lot of my former teammates and old teammates. Or I'm just going to say my teammates years later. But man, it was electric, bro. It was electric. It was something, man. It was something.
You could hear it on TV, how loud, and they kept mentioning it throughout the broadcast, how deafening it was in there. And you could see it from the very first snap. Shedeur's out there holding his hands over his helmet. He is not hearing anything. He's clapping for the snap. The center can't even hear him. He had to walk up, literally pat him on the ass and be like, hey, snap the ball. That crowd, I cannot give them any more credit. I really can't. And I got to see the hype video from Will Compton that they played right before oh my God. You thought the UTEP one was insane. No, this was perfect. Right at the end, I'm not going to say, the exact word he said at the end because they had to bleep it, of course. But right at the end of it, he puts the hand up like this and goes, "Tick-tock, mother effers."
Yeah, Will's a good dude, man. Will is funny.
Will is a different guy.
Yeah, talked to him on the sideline, man. He's wired differently, but he's cool, man. Him and the whole crew of, the bus guys.
Yeah, busting with the boys. Shout out.
Boys, man, Will was good. I was like, damn, he's smaller than I thought he was. But then I forget I'm a giant. You know what I mean? I forget I'm abnormally tall for the position I played. And a lot of those guys are 6'2", 6'1", 6'3", and all of that, but I'm 6'5". So it was cool, man. But just the game was loud. I'm going to go back to prior to the game from when we went and got our lanyards because it was a last-minute trip. Myself and my brother went. He was like, "Little bro, let's go." We didn't know where we were going to go. So people, if you see me wipe my nose, excuse me. Of course, you guys know I went to Nebraska. So,
Nebraska weather got him. Got him again.
I'm always sick as soon as I come back. So, and this was like a literally 40-hour turnaround trip.
Yeah.
So we weren't sure where we were going to go because my aunt had passed about a week or so, 2 weeks ago. So
condolences, my brother.
We were waiting to see when her funeral was going to be. And so us getting there was last minute. So everything was, I got the hotel, little bro. We're going to stay in Omaha. Everything's booked on Lincoln. We're going to get there. We're flying at this time. We didn't get there until almost 9 o'clock. So that's a quick turnaround at night, and then we left at 1:30, this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So getting there, getting our stuff, I see Tyrone pull up. Hey, what's up, my boy? Oh my God. I'm seeing all my buddies, I call them the big bros. They are pulling up. Clinton called me. Where you at? Oh my gosh. And I see him, he pull up. And then we go to the tailgate, Buddha Woods pulls up. KC, you don't have to worry about being cold, little brother. So, just seeing all Rob, we Stott, just seeing all the guys, Polak, Pinhead, was Aaron Pillman, just seeing everybody, man. Seeing Randy Goble, Mike, the people in the Husker Power Boy, and Mike and Kenny. First thing I remember every time I see you is how we didn't have enough things on a vertical jump for you and how we had to stick it on some boxes. They were like, people have no clue what you really were. And to see how we play now, they would have really got to see it. And, just laughing and seeing them. But when we got to the stadium, man, and we went inside, because we went in at about 5:45. We had to be in, I guess, where Brooks statue used to be, him and Coach Osborne. I didn't know they moved all of that.
Yes, now it's in front of the Osborne Sports Complex.
Yeah, see, I was used to that end being there, so I have no clue. Yep. So we walked in there and see everybody coming in. Abdul comes in, KC, little bro, what's going on? My big bro Dwayne Harris comes in. He knows me. He's like, that's my boy over there. Seeing Dumas, Dante, just seeing everyone. But they explained to us how we were going to come out, whatever, and we went to the new tunnel walk area, I think, where the guys come out as well. So we all filtered in. They played some song. We're listening, and then they're like, so the boogeyman, Thomas, says, hey guys, you guys want to do the prayer before we go out? It's crazy.
Oh,
crazy. It was crazy. So
you guys led the prayer.
We did ours first. We did it with us first. It was crazy. It was crazy. If someone recorded that and they have a camera, people might literally tear up how crazy it was. They said now, and I hear it, it's the same thing with alterations in it as far as the cadence and how they say it.
Yeah.
When I tell you they said that, we said that, and there was no waiver, there was no one off. Everyone repeated the same exact thing at the same exact time in the same cadence. It wasn't someone off on the can't be beat, won't be beat. No, it was boom, 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 boom. It was Chris. So if those guys heard that on that team, they should have been like, that's crazy. I mean, it was so wild. Warfield said, I think it may have gave me wood. I think it may have given me wood. He's like, I felt some type of way. But man, that was special, man, to just sit there and do that. And like I said, we let those guys go out. And my last core crew, we kind of came in last with them, but at the back. And then we sat there, man. But it was cool, bro. It was cool.
Man, you're right. You're gonna have to get on the horn, dude, and find out. Somebody had to have taken video of that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had to have, and we've got to see and hear it. I want that somehow to be a Husker Army podcast exclusive clip. Got to be able to find that. I'm putting my trust in you on that one, Kenny. I know you can do the research, brother. You've got the contacts.
Yeah, it was something, man.
I've only got a few I can get a hold of. So that's you know way more of them. Like you said, they're your brothers, dude. They are, I'll say, friends to me, acquaintances, but nowhere near as close as you guys are. So I'm gonna have to lay that little mission on you, dude.
Yeah, see what we can find out, man.
For once, the Army's got a mission for you, dude. So, oh God, I can't even imagine how loud it truly was in there.
goosebumps in the arm when everybody said the prayer. Hair stood up.
Oh my God. I see.
You can probably. It was almost like putting a bunch of old racehorses on a racetrack who can't do it anymore, but that competitiveness is still there. But we know we can't do it. But if we were able to, and that was us, Colorado would have got 70 hung on them.
They should have had 70 hung on them.
Yeah, it would have been a 70 piece.
You look at everything that happened in that second half, and really that score should have been 42-10 or worse. Right. My prediction damn near came true. You know me, I don't like giving score predictions, but on BA's show, Coach Ben Audi, I said I predicted a W, but I also predicted we would win by 20 or more. And we're right there. All we needed was even just a field goal, and I'd have been right.
Right.
Sons of bitches. I know Rule ain't going to be happy about that second half. I know it. But at the same time, from your guys' perspective, I mean, you got to see it all firsthand down there on the sideline anyway. So what was it like with this year's team on that sideline? How close were you guys to hearing anything that was going on?
You couldn't really hear anything. You can see it. Of course, we were on but it wasn't, you're trained when you've done that, even though it's been years that we've been away from it. And when you're on the field, personally, for me, loud was never a thing. Mm-hmm. Because you should be proficient enough to know the cadence of your quarterback, to be able to read their lips. So it's almost as if you hear it. You know what I mean? So, but we were in the northwest corner. Some of us were in the northwest corner. Some was in the east corner. Maybe in the other ones, but those two primarily. Okay. So we were around the 10, 15 goal line, that area over there where the cheerleaders are normally at.
Oh, right on.
But to see the pressure get to him, which if you can recall, and our fans can recall, I've been saying it for years, we need that pass rush. And if we get to him because they can't run, we'll make them one-dimensional, and we should pretty much put the hammer to him. And that's exactly what they did. So when they were able to get to him, hit him, get him on the floor, get him on the ground, he gets up. I'm going to say this about the kid.
He can take a licking.
He's good.
Yes, absolutely. He is a player. He's a hell of an athlete.
Absolutely. He's a first-round pick. It's there. You put him in any team with a line, it's game, set, match. You get what I'm saying?
Can he get out of the way of his ego, though? That's what I'm wondering about.
That's something he has to work on.
But he's got to get away from his dad.
But you put him in in the system like that,
it would work.
It would be crazy. But we just were on him. And I think at one point we had like negative maybe 35 rushing yards or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So it was, which is what I said, make them one-dimensional. Make them pass. So it was good to watch. We were like, oh, this is over. Once we saw that, we were like, oh, this is over. Then you had a bunch of older guys standing over there saying, my back and knees and joints hurt from standing so long. It was funny. It was cool. But we knew what it was once we saw the pressure and saw they couldn't stop our people from getting in the backfield and they couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, I think our defense lived in their backfield more than their backfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was complete dominance by the Black Shirts, period. I mean, the pick six by Tommy Hill in the first quarter, I mean, great read, not to mention great athletic catch. I mean, didn't touch the receiver at all, and if he misses that, that's a huge play. Mm-hmm. That is a huge play, so credit him for being on time.
That was him taking advantage and knowing his job and taking advantage of a young receiver by jumping the ball. You know it was a young receiver because he should have known where they were at with that pass play that you aggressively attacked the football. You don't just stand there and wait because he turned around, stood and waited.
Yes, he did.
And then he jumped right in front of it, grabbed it, pick six. I mean, that's that. That's that.
Yeah.
So,
It was fun to watch.
Mhm.
I mean, especially from a fan standpoint, watching at home. My God, the start of that game, getting after him on the first
yeah.
play, I was losing my mind. I was it was exactly how I wanted it to start. It is exactly how I think everybody was hoping it would start when they were on offense. Just yeah, there's no other way to put it. Holy shit. It was awesome to watch. We have an elite defense this year.
Mhm.
I was so worried they could not get much better than what they were by the end of last season, and I think they got a lot better. It
Yeah.
it was kind of scary to watch at times. I'd like to say at times I felt sorry for Colorado, but that'll never happen. So I was happy as hell with all the punishment. I know he got ejected for it, but the forearm that got thrown into Shadur's face toward the end of the game, I didn't care. I mean, granted, yeah, he's gonna miss the first half of the next game, but hey, totally worth the shot, in my opinion. Sorry, I don't even care. And one thing I will say, Travis Hunter's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Travis Hunter's pretty good.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Uh, he
It's
still managed
obvious.
over 100 yards on us.
Yeah. It's obvious. You stand out when you're used to seeing that and being on the field with players, and you see players and you say, yeah, he is what he is. He's that.
Yeah.
You know. You know. He's legit. Like I said, Shador's legit. Horn Jr.'s legit. Travis Hunter's legit. Shiloh's legit. They have some legit guys over there. They're just not. They're years away.
They've got players. They don't have a team.
They don't have a team. Yeah, they have players. They don't have a team, and they're years away. And that's why I'm
Yeah.
not as critical as them. The light was brought on them in regards to Colorado. Like I said, it's always going to be, to Colorado. You know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think instead of Coach Prime or Dion, the way he did it and going about the way to do it, do it, but build it, get your players in there to help.
Yeah.
Especially on the offense side. Like I said, when you look at it, you see it. I know what I see when I see it on the field and standing there. And one of my main things was I want to see it in person. I want to see Travis Hunter in person. I want to see Shador in person. I want to see Horn in person. I want to see Shiloh in person. I want to see this in person. And you say, okay, they're that. They're good, really good players. Hunter is really
Horn's a hell of a returner. I'll give him that. But as
Yeah.
far as receiving, our secondary shut his ass down all night.
You really see it, but you say, okay, but they need more. And I think with the way he went about it, it's bringing more scrutiny, it's bringing more pressure, and all that. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, even as a Nebraska, we weren't worried about it. If Deion wasn't at Colorado, Nebraska fans wouldn't be hating as much as we are. We just hate
Probably
Colorado.
not.
They wouldn't be on Deion as much as they were. But if
Very
he was,
true.
let's say if he went to LSU, what should do?
I'd probably be rooting for the guy in some way.
Game, set, match with the players around. He doesn't have to build that line. He doesn't have to build that D line. He doesn't have to build those skilled players. It's a game, set, match. But we needed this as a program, my friend. I mean, I'm going to tell everyone, I'm not the bearer of bad. Don't pump the brakes and don't make, we're back. No, we needed this because we haven't won a game like this under the lights with this much pressure, with these expectations in years.
Yes.
So we should enjoy this. Don't overhype it. Take it one game at a time. But I think people were more relieved that we didn't blow this game.
Yes.
And that we won convincingly.
Yes.
And just to have that feeling of the vibe of the people was different. Walking out of that game, being around them, you can sense it. Not that, oh, Nebraska's back and we're going to. No, it was, yeah, we won the game and we did that and we took care of our business.
Thank you.
And it feels good. So I say this honestly, the Husker Nation, enjoy this one. Soak this one in because we performed where we haven't performed against our dreaded and the team we hate, the Colorado Buffaloes. Amen.
I couldn't have said that any better.
We needed that. We
That's
wanted
very
that,
true.
and we got that. And it was against them. So, not them. It's Colorado. It was against Colorado.
Yes. Like I said, I probably wouldn't hate on him and his kids as much if they weren't where they're at.
Yeah, if they were 0-10 and it's Colorado, we're going to make you 0-11, and we want to
make
it a severe A beating than the other ones you've taken to get you to 0-10. But it's Colorado.
I don't know if Deion's going to make it past this season. I don't know.
I think he will. It's only year 2.
Yeah, but his boys are graduating. He's followed them everywhere.
Yeah, that'll be a bad look for him if he does that, unless he goes to a bigger, well, we still have Power 5, a bigger Power
4.
Power 4 conference. But people with the Deion thing said, we're going to get more about us. People with the Deion thing, you have to look at it with the economics that brought other stuff that's coming to play with Colorado. The University of Colorado has been consistent over the last couple of years. 1 and something, 2 and something, 3 and something, maybe.
Is the on bottom of the barrel in the Pac-12.
Is on national TV because of this man. Just think about that.
I know.
Just think about that. People are talking about Colorado, who hasn't been relevant in umpteenth years. Colorado, since my man Darren Hagen, Salinassis, and those guys, Alfred Williams, Pritchard, Eric Bieniemy. Now I can name that whole team. You know I can name that whole team, just like I can name Florida State's 1993 whole team.
Charlie Ward. Yeah.
Vanover, Knox, Floyd. I mean,
did Florida State have work done in 93 as well?
Work done.
Damn.
Yeah. With William Floyd, all those guys. But you know what I mean? It's just, we're talking about Colorado, but we're in Nebraska. We hate Colorado. They came into town. We whooped their ass. We sent them home. Take that.
Yep.
Hold that L.
Yeah, I had to actually repost something on Twitter from it had to be him too. Terrell Owens.
What did he say?
He was over there warming up with Colorado's wide receivers and everything before the game. Then he had to go and yap his mouth off and then post it on social media saying how they were going to have a heyday with our DBs and we were going to enjoy the L and like it.
Come on.
I had to, I kept that and I got back to him today and I said, look, yeah, I think I might have said something there. But I said, there's only one T.O. that we recognize in Lincoln, and you are not it.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
So you can leave our stadium. That you are not the T.O. that we will embrace around here.
That is hilarious.
And I've always enjoyed Ocho's little, idiocracies and the little quirks he's got. He's entertaining. But you poked the wrong fucking bear, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't poke Husker Nation, man. Do not do it.
Yeah.
Because we hold on to receipts.
Yeah.
we don't forget.
Yeah. Too much talking.
Yeah. And
with our experienced defense, nah. They were on his head. Their defense was on his head.
Oh, yeah. All right. So we'll talk about offense for now. I mean, as far as Dylan Raiola goes, I mean, pretty impressive in my eyes. I mean, it's nothing that's going to jump off the stat sheets or anything like that. But I mean, the young man still goes 23 for 30 for 185 yards, a touchdown. Now, a lucky touchdown, nonetheless, to Rahmir Johnson. That was hellacious concentration by Rahmir. And
our guy.
whew, that should have been an interception by all rights. I thought it was, too.
Our guy, Rahmir, who me and you've been talking highly of since he got there.
I have been on this man's high horse since day one that he played.
Me and you have been saying, get him the ball for the last couple of years.
Look what happens when you do. It's like I have said, you have said for years about him. He will give you everything he has every down he's there. He's even in there covering kickoffs.
Yep.
And by the way, that block in the back he got called for was such a crock of shit.
Yeah,
I'd never seen anything so atrocious in my life. He had his hand out like this, and his fingertips barely brushed the back of the guy's jersey, and that's what they called. He didn't even push him. That's the sad, like, there was no physical contact.
Right, yeah. The ref blew that one.
They blew a lot of things, maybe each other. Just that was mean. That was mean. I apologize. Dear Lord, I apologize for myself and little pygmies down in New Guinea. I apologize. Good Lord. All right. But yeah, Dylan, he was poised in the pocket, never looked uncomfortable. As far as the long ball goes, he was a little bit off. He was a little bit off last night. Wasn't horrible. It was always only where his guy was going to get it. So I was never worried about where he put the ball. But, I mean, over the middle and everything, his accuracy, his decision in that first drive to take off on 3rd and 10 when it just opened up for him, that, to me, that tells me right there, this young man, he wants to win. He doesn't know how to lose. I know he's lost in his life, but it's one of those things where he is just a winner, and he is going to do what he has to do for us to win. He's not a scrambler.
Mm-mm.
Not a scrambler at all. We all know that. He's not the fastest out there on the field, and he'd much rather sit in the pocket rather than roll out even.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's not that athletic, but he can sit in there and throw it. If you're a passing quarterback, traditional, as they like to call them, quarterback, you run when you see that. It helps your team a lot. There's a lot of quarterbacks you see, even on a professional level, who they're not going to run to get that first down.
No.
They're not going to run to do it. They'd rather throw the ball away and not take the sack than run and get that first down. So he looks good, man. It was a nice, solid game managing performance. But I said our key offensively was going to be what? The running game.
Yes, sir. Great segue, too. Might as well bring him up right away because, I got to admit. All right, so Dowdell ends up being our leading rusher last night. We still don't have a running back in 2 games that's gone over 100 yards alone, but that's because we have an absolute stable of capable guys. I mean, for God's sake, we talked to Emmett John before the season started on here, and we were convinced he'd be number 1 by the time the season started. I don't know if he even got in there until like the 3rd quarter because of how Rahmir and Dowdell were doing. But you see the numbers right there. Dowdell goes 17 carries for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns. Next behind him was Rahmir Johnson, 9 for 33. I mean, Ramirez isn't anything that jumps out on a stat sheet at you, but when we get into the receiving part, you're going to see why he's in there. That is completely warranted. But yeah, Dowdell ran hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rahmir even ran hard. Look, Dowdell, that one he broke up the middle And he had the chance. He had complete and total chance to decide to try and get around Shiloh Sanders and go to the house. He made the decision about 7 yards away from him. I'm going to run his ass over. And that's what broke Shiloh's forearm. Our running back hit him so hard, and not even, he hit him with his legs because Shiloh got low. He got low.
That must have been forearm on shin or something like that.
Maybe thigh. Because I'm pretty sure that's the play that took out Shiloh. So kudos to you, Dante. I love you for it, man. I'd say it's nothing personal, Shiloh, but it is.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah, Colorado.
It is.
So it is personal.
It just happens to be what colors and team you're wearing, man. I'm sorry.
Not you as a person. It's Colorado.
Hey, in my opinion, Dowdell is starting to really emerge as a possible clean slate number one. I mean, it's tough to say that with that stable that we got. That running backs room is so talented and so deep right now. It's not even funny. It's almost scary to think about for opposing defenses and defensive coordinators. You got to prepare for like 5 or 6 guys that are totally capable of taking any given carry to the house. So with Dowdell looking the way he does right now, I mean, and no fumbles, no turnovers at all. When's the last time, Kenny, we could say that about a Nebraska game?
It's been a long time.
I don't think we've been able to do it since we started the podcast.
No.
And I want to go back to even the Scarlet and the Cream podcast, dude.
Wow. It's been some years. That's crazy.
I'll have to go back and look at that stat line, but I am 95 to 99% positive that we haven't had a turnover-free game in probably 6 to 7 years.
Wow. That's insane that we've been able to play a clean game like the one we played last night in that long. That means we've been playing a lot of bad football.
Yeah. A lot of
That's
careless.
all that said. Careless, undisciplined, bad football. That's exactly what that is. So
I like that you brought up discipline because that's one of Rule's key points to anybody on that team is being disciplined.
Accountability.
Yes, sir.
Accountability.
I like it. With those running backs, there's accountability all the way down the line.
We talked about it on the sideline. Some of us. We were just talking about accountability. Knowing your assignment, doing your job, being held accountable by your teammates and your coaches. Not in a disrespectful manner by your teammates and buddies, but in a way that's betterment of the team and not yourself. And being held accountable. Kenny, you missed that ball. It wasn't anyone else's fault. Okay, coach. You missed that block. That's it. When you get guys who, always have a butt or a comeback, it's not accountability. They can't hold themselves accountable. So no one else can hold them accountable. So, like I said, to watch them play that game and be disciplined and we not have the false starts, the ridiculous holding, but mainly the false starts we would have, and us getting the big play and then it being pulled back for this. Now we did have
it happened in the second half, the fourth.
We did have a lot of penalty yards later in the game.
A lot questionable.
Yeah, but just to have that game without the turnovers, that's huge, man. And one of the major things I took away is, and people are going to look at this, with Raiola being able to be clean and not get hit.
Yeah.
And how well our offensive line is playing, with who we've been on the last couple of years, with protection and opening holes for the running backs to have clean running lanes. But I'm going to say this, and you guys may say, oh, he might be just making something up or make more of it. Do you guys honestly think that offensive line coach Raiola wants to see his nephew get battered and bruised back there?
Not a
Do
chance.
you think he's pushing them to be the best that they can be? Do you think he's going to tolerate the quarterback, aka his nephew, getting his head tore off in games? I seriously doubt it. And I think those guys get it. And I think he's, how can I say this in today's environment? On their behinds, coaching wise, to where it's almost a fear. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think there is no margin for error this year.
There will be consequences.
Yeah. And especially with, like I said, other things I mentioned prior, that's his nephew.
Yep.
Think about it, people.
Yeah, and what the line did for those running backs was great. They opened up some amazing holes. They were sealing off blocks. You had tight ends coming over with their kick out blocks. Fedoni was doing it all night. And like I said, Rahmir, his carries doesn't jump out at you on a stat sheet, 9 for 33 yards. But like I said, then he also has 8 catches for 49 yards and that touchdown he had, where it was just great concentration and staying with the ball.
Swiss Army knife. We've been saying this for years, Brian. We're
Yes.
not surprised by it.
Why doesn't anyone listen to us?
What have I been saying? Put him in places to get him the ball.
Just feed him.
Give him the ball. I always say they put him in, he does something, they pull him out.
Yeah.
Have I not been saying the same thing for the last couple of years? They put him in, he does something, they pull him out. He's your Swiss Army guy. He can line up, he can catch it out of the backfield, he can run it, he can get you some yards. He's not at every down to me physically to be pound.
No.
He can come in there and do his thing. And you see the results.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he had some injuries earlier on in his career.
Yep.
But you give him, put him in position, he can play football.
Yes.
Sometimes you just have guys who can play football.
Exactly.
And if you go back to the ground roots of football, before you get some that's just specialization nowadays, he's been a quarterback his whole life. He's just going to always be a quarterback. When you go back to the ground roots of Pop Warner football, kids generally play both ways because what? They were just playing football.
Exactly.
That's it.
Let's face it, too. When you're that young, you can kind of tell if a kid's better than another one. I mean, I hate to say that as a parent, but I coached flag football, and I could tell, oh, shit, I need this kid on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Because he can play football,
Yes.
Football. Yeah.
Just for some reason, he's got that instinct. He's got that ability already, and that's what Rahmir is. We couldn't have gushed over Rahmir any more over the last 5 or 6 seasons than we have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we finally got him to come on the podcast, like, he's like 20 years younger than me, and I'm starstruck. It's terrible. And I messaged him on Twitter last night in a personal message congratulating him and the guys. I did the same for Emmett Johnson, shot him a text last night congratulating them.
Yeah, he makes plays. Emmett gets the ball, he makes plays.
That's another thing. He's not getting that shot because he's got guys so capable as he is. Even Gabe Irvin.
Yeah, I just think with last night's game plan to put them in space, to get the passes and all of that, Rahmir was the best option for that.
Yes.
But if they're going to pound it, those other guys are going to get more carries. Emmett's going to get more carries.
Oh, yeah.
They're all going to get more carries to wear people down. They can do that and wear people down.
And that's kind of what they did. The funny thing is about that game, in my opinion, they didn't wear their defense down. Our defense wore their offense down.
Mm-hmm.
And our defense looked just as fresh to that final snap that they took from the very first to the final.
Mm-hmm.
I am so impressed and happy with our strength and conditioning and our just altogether the health that they're using for this team. They monitor everything these guys put into their bodies and they make sure it's the right stuff. And then you got guys like Coach Campbell, our strength and conditioning coach, whom I'm just goo goo gaga over, and I have been ever since he got on campus because my God, the Black Hulk is making our entire team look like Incredible Hulks right now. So, I love Coach Campbell. I keep saying on Twitter, pay him whatever he wants, make sure he never leaves. We need that man to stay here to help develop these men's bodies. Period. I love it. I love it. It just seeing the conditioning, Kenny. I mean, that's what you guys had that back in your day. You guys never got tired.
Mm-hmm.
You were always the best conditioned team on that field.
Period. We knew we were going to outwork you, regardless of what it was, and it was just ingrained in us. Like myself and Jeff Lake were talking on the sideline, and Sean Weeding, some of the other receivers, Chevin, and we were just talking about it and watching them and looking, and we were just like, it's just what it was. It was expected. We knew no other way. We knew no other way but to go in there, work hard, give it your all, be held accountable, put it on, lace it up, and go out on your shield. We knew no other way. It's not cliche talk, because if you guys know me, I hate cliche talk. I hate football talk. I hate phrases. That shit's nothing to me. It's stupid. I'm just telling you the truth. We were about our business, man, and we were like machines.
Yeah.
We were literally like a machine.
That's what you guys were called, the Big Red Machine.
Let's go. Let's line it up. We know when we hit you by the end of the game on every position, you're going to be done by the end of the game. Our physicality, us being relentless and coming at you, no plays off. A lot of teams aren't used to that. They talk it. They can hold this up.
Oh, yeah.
But do they want it? We wanted it. We knew it was still coming. How we were coming in the first quarter, we're going to be coming the same way in the fourth.
Yep.
So, like I said, to see them play well, to see them do what they've done, you can see some improvements in the weight room. I don't know what all they're doing. They need to put their shirts on and working off. I don't care to see all of that. We couldn't be in there with our shirts off. It's not a physique, show your body thing. You're going in there to work.
Yes.
You're going in there to work. You're going in there to get better. You're going in there to get explosive. You're going in there to get stronger. You're going in there to when you get out there on the field and that team is across from you, you're whooping their ass. That's it. So, like I said, I don't do football talk. I don't do the coaches spiel. Shut up, man. Let's go out here and do what we do. I don't want to hear you telling us how we going to play and what we're going to do. I don't want to hear all that. Like we say, I like Coach Matt Rule. I like the stuff he said. But there's a whole bunch of us who would have been in the back like, dude, shut up, bro. What is dude talking about up there? What are you talking about? We don't want to hear all that. You have a bunch of caged pit bulls back here that haven't been raised the right way. As far as we're not friendly, we're the ones who get the bad rap. We're the ones who get the bad rap. The people mistreated, not figuratively, but saying we're the ones that mistreated. That you put us in there, everyone else is going to be an attack, and we're locking on. So all that you talking about, bro, get out of here. I know, people like Farley would have been like, hey, Kenny, what are you talking about? Dude, they're talking crazy, bro. We would have back there laughing like, man, let's go. Shut up. Let's go get it. They should have that without the pep talk. They should have that. That was our mentality without a pep talk. Man, let's go out here and destroy these fools, bro. We got some PlayStation to play. We have some dominoes to play. We're going to go over each other's house, harass one another, and argue all night like we were doing last night, picking at one another. And then that's it. Let's go do it. Let's go get it. You know what I mean? So, but it's good to see that, man. They need that mentality. Like I said, this is a big win, man. This isn't a program-changing, altering win. This is a big win for the players because a lot of these kids have been losing.
Yes.
All of what it is. They've been
Especially
losing.
guys like Ramir.
They've been losers. They've been losing, not calling them individual losers. They've been losers as far as what they've been seeing on the field and what's been happening. They needed this win for their psyche. The fans needed this for their psyche. The coaches needed this, even though they're new, for their psyche. To say maybe something is turning around, and Husker Nation worldwide and our program needed it, even though it's not a living entity, for its psyche.
Yes.
And the media needed it because they understand what we are and who we are. People know what Nebraska football is. People understand.
They haven't forgot
the lineage of Nebraska football. We've built programs, people. For those, let me explain this to some of you guys who are unaware. Nebraska football has built two of the most prominent college football programs in the United States. This is what it meant to beat Nebraska. Nebraska built Florida State. We built Florida State. Let that sink in. We built Florida State. For true Nebraska fans and our old school Nebraska fans, for you new guys who are just now listening, you need to understand Florida State used to come to Lincoln to play.
Yep. I remember that.
And they used to beat Nebraska.
Yes, they did.
We personally built Florida State because they were beating Nebraska. You know who else we built? The University of Miami.
Ooh, I'll agree there.
Because of that championship, because Coach Osborne went for it instead of the tie, we started a run at the University of Miami that was almost unmatched in that short period of time. Yep. How many national championship games or how many national championships have Miami won against Nebraska? Was it 3 or 4?
I don't even know. I know there was like 3 years in a row. I'm pretty sure they beat us in the Orange Bowl.
But national championships, I think they might have 5. I think 3 of them against Nebraska.
Damn.
We built Miami. If we tie that game and win the national championship, their trajectory changes.
Yes, it does.
So we built Miami. We built Florida State. So this is what I say, and this is what, like I said, a lot of older Nebraska fans, you young guys, you new generation, you TikTokers, you Instagram, you whatever, need to understand. Do your history. Do your history. That's why it's a big deal for us. That's why we needed that. And it's just one win, like I said, but that's why Husker Nation, who've been faithful forever, are sitting here like, damn, it's about time they performed on that. Because we've had so many letdowns. We've had so many horrible, shitty Saturdays that who can count them? And then we've had to sit with the remembering those shitty Saturdays until the next year just to have more shitty Saturdays. This was a great Saturday.
It was a beautiful Saturday.
We needed this. But that's what I'm saying. So understand, like I said, where I'm coming from with that. We are the University of Nebraska. We are, believe it or not, we are the bar for college football. So many stuff is in college football because of the University of Nebraska. When you guys research it, you're going to be shocked. We are the standard for strength and conditioning.
Yes.
That. For weight rooms, nutrition. We did that. Come on.
Most people don't know that.
Come on. So people don't want to see us down. College football is better when Florida State, Nebraska, Michigan, Miami, Penn State, Ohio State, USC, LSU, Florida.
Yeah, I'll throw Florida in there.
Oklahoma.
Definitely OU.
Tennessee. When us, Notre Dame, when we're all winning, it is more light put on college football when we're all winning at the same time.
Yes.
It's a different atmosphere in college football. When
I
USC's
can't
done, yeah, go ahead, brother.
I can't count how many sports commentators or writers or play-by-play guys or guys on panels for College Game Day that have said over the years
Mhm.
when it looks like we're about to turn that corner, they all say it. College football is just better when Nebraska is up. Their
Yeah,
their fan base follows them everywhere. They're an amazing fan base. The program just helps the whole college football land base shine.
absolutely.
But a lot of people don't want to fucking admit that.
They won't. They have to find a reason to hate our greatness. They
Yes.
have to find a reason to downplay who we are. They have to try to find a reason. I know this is sound repetitive to try to put themselves as if they're on the same level of us, and you're not. That's why
No.
when those guys like to get in arguments with me on Twitter, a lot of them I just block. I'm not arguing with you. You're a peon. What are we going to
Good.
talk about? What are we going to talk about? There's nothing for you to talk about with me.
You've been through it.
Yeah. What are we going to go back and forth? What are you telling me about your right now? You can't tell me about your right now. I can tell about our right now. We're trying to get back to where we was and where we should be. But if you want to do
That's
it as
right.
a whole, your whole is nowhere near any part of us and where we were. We're still Nebraska. Just think we've had terrible years and we've had shitty years. And how many wins do we have in the last couple of years? Think where we're at.
We haven't been to a bowl game since 2016.
But I mean, aren't we at 900?
Maybe?
Are we at 900 wins? Where are we at as a program?
I think we are. I think we're over that 900 mark.
And we've been shitty. And there's teams.
I'm pretty sure all-time wins, we're still in that top 3 or 5. And we've been down for 20 years.
Think about that. It's crazy.
That is crazy because all those other schools that are in there with us, they've still continued to win. So they have leapfrogged us in some cases because of our down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot of schools that can frankly just kiss my Nebraska fan ass because, be thankful we're where we're at right now because it wouldn't even be fucking close.
Right.
I'm getting pretty ballsy about dropping F-bombs with Colorado anymore. Wow.
Think about this. We're at 9-19 and we've been horrible.
Wow. So we're still in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken.
We're 9.
Top 10. Top 10. Okay.
We've slipped in recent years because we've been horrible.
Yes. Haven't even had winning seasons. Just wait. And Michigan's about to start their downslide. So, yeah, who cares about them though? Well, how about your position though, Kenny? I pulled up a couple of the guys. I mean, of course, Ja'Cory Barney Jr. He had 6 for 29 through the air. Then you had Jalen Lloyd. He had that big one for 36 yards. But then, talk about spreading it around again. You got Ramir Johnson out of the backfield who gets 8 catches for 49. You got Nayor who gets 4 catches for 31. Then a huge one by Borkacher later in that game for 25 yards. Fedoni only got 1 catch, but 13-yard catch. He took a hell of a shot on that shoulder, too.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he's all right. I'm pretty sure he was back in after that, so he may have been just a little bit of a bruise or a stinger or something. And then Jamal Banks, he only had a couple of receptions for 2 yards. A little bit of a drop-off from last week against UTEP, of course. But still, Raiola's spreading this thing around, dude. It's literally receptions by committee. He doesn't have a favorite target at this point.
Yeah, which is good. Which means the ball is being spread around. Which means going through his reads, going through his progressions, and getting the ball to the open player. Which is a good thing, which is what you want. You're not locked in on one person.
Yeah, they're not reading his eyes. You can't. He'll look you off if he has to. And then sometimes he knows that he's going to come back to the other side because it's going to be open. So he completely looks the other way until that last second and fires over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got guys like Pat McAfee on College Game Day in the morning just oogling over Raiola in Nebraska. And not to mention, he is in love with Matt Rule, too. So, I mean, we're getting talked about and we're getting our publicity from networks that, frankly, couldn't have cared less about us over the last 5-6 years.
Right.
The last time that ESPN really gave a shit about us was when Frost got hired and Herb Street was all up in Frost. A lot of people thought that was going to be the one to bring us back. I mean, shit, a lot of us did. I did. So that's really the last time we have been talked about in a positive light.
We haven't given them a reason to talk about us in a positive light.
That's very damn true. Very damn true. And Desmond Howard still ain't giving us no credit. He's the only one that picked Colorado to win on that panel that morning, too.
Of course.
I don't know what his issue is, dude.
He's a Michigan dude.
Yeah, but I think he picked Texas to beat Michigan. So what the hell, man? I know you gotta be... Whatever. Desmond Howard, jeez. A lot of Husker fans hate his ass too.
Yeah, he's talk spicy about us.
He does. Yeah. And then Feinbaum's off of Rule's ass now. Now he's on Sanders. Now he's on Prime. I guess he had a little going off about Prime, like the day before the game or something on ESPN.
Before this game?
Yep, right before this game.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there you go. So there's the leading receivers for now. I mean, once again, it's one of those things. We're not getting stats that are gonna jump off the page at you, but we've got the stats that are getting the job done, getting the points, getting the yards, and just moving the ball. And I'm glad I finally actually used what the actual team stats were, because I was actually unsure myself. And once again, does not jump out at you. I mean, we only had 334 total yards on the game, but we had 185 through the air, 149 on the ground, and that's 149 combined between like 3 or 4 backs. So that's pretty damn balanced once again. Last week, there was only maybe a 30 or 40 yard disparity between passing and rushing. Satterfield is royally balancing this out. He's figuring out which part of it's working, which part of it's not, but at the same time not leaning too far that way. He's keeping these defenses guessing, and I'm loving it. But defense holds Colorado to what am I looking at there? 260 total yards. Now, 244 of it was through the air, which means those black shirts held them to 16 yards rushing. And like you said, Kenny, first half, I'm pretty sure they were in negative.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Shiloh only goes 23 of 40. Let's see. They tried running the ball 22 times and managed 16 yards. That's barely over half a yard per attempt. And then they had 9 penalties for 104, but we had 12 for 105, which is just beyond ridiculous in my eyes, because we only had, I think, a couple penalties going into that quarter, and it just snowballed out of nowhere. We win the turnover battle, of course, like we said earlier, didn't turn it over at all. We got the pick 6, and then I'm trying to remember, what was the other one, a fumble or? Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's right. Now I can remember. Now, in my eyes, though, that should be +4 in our favor because that defense got 2 turnovers on downs, stuffing them on 4th and inches and then 4th and 1. Amazing. And then there it is. That's what I wanted to talk about was the time of possession.
Yep.
24-39 for Colorado, 35-21 for us. Almost a full 11-minute difference. Now, I said this on, I think it was either BA's show when I was on there the other day, or it might have been on our last episode when we briefly might have brought up Colorado, because I brought up the 5-minute and 4-second drive we had against UTEP in the third quarter. In this game, I said if we could have 2 or 3 5-minute plus drives, it was going to break them. And I know that I saw at least one that spanned damn near 6 minutes. And I don't think we scored on it, but that's 6 full minutes that they're wearing that defense down. They're doing what they want to do.
That's what we want.
Win the time of possession.
Wear them down. That's what you need. That's what you want. Running the ball. It's not from passing. It's from running the ball. And I would like for them to throw it 567 times a game.
Yeah.
But that's from, you have to balance out your attack sometimes. Sometimes you can say, we have this lead. You don't play it safe. You play it aggressive, but you run the ball. I would rather you give up a fumble in a pile than to keep stopping the clock for the other team.
Yeah, an incompletion or an interception.
You think how many drives we sustained with us being able to run the ball?
Numerous.
There you go. I mean, it's football. Football isn't hard in the common sense aspect, people. I think a lot more people make the common sense stuff in football more complicated than it needs to be.
I think
you
so.
get what I'm saying? Like I said, because we were effective running. It wasn't the big, long yards, big, long runs Nebraska fans like myself and you are used to. But it's, what is it? The pound of dust, whatever they say, whatever in the pound of dust. When they're talking about running football, 6 inches in the pound of dust, whatever. You do that. You let Raiola throw in his spot duty, as he did, and you win the game. So that time of possession was because of that. Colorado kept stopping the clock. Why? Because they couldn't run it, and they had to throw the ball. Which means if you're getting incompletes, what's happening? The clock's stopping.
That game was taking a while.
Yeah.
I wanted to go have a cigarette by the end of the first quarter. I'm thinking, Jesus, there's still 5.5 minutes to go.
Yeah. The second half took forever.
Oh, my God. And what made it more painful is we didn't put up any damn points in that second half.
It was like, what are you guys doing?
Just one score, just to royally just put it away. Even a field goal would have made it look so much better, but I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to complain about it. It was in hand by halftime. I couldn't have asked for anything more.
Right.
And finally, as a fan, and I'm sure, Kenny, you can attest to this as well, getting to sit back, and even though we weren't putting up points in that second half, you never felt like it was going to fall apart.
Correct.
Even when they scored that touchdown finally, you just never felt like the offense was going to come out, turn it over, or give them a scoop and score or pick six.
Correct.
You did not feel that dread.
Right. You didn't. I mean, I honestly sat there and was like, okay, we might be okay.
When's the last time you could say that?
The let's blow it is coming. That's what I'm saying now. It's about to be blown. You felt it was in control. Felt the team had control. The game was in control. And it was just a matter of time before we finally broke them.
Yeah. And the defense did it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, as much as we've talked about the offense, they were pretty stagnant in that second half, but I mean, they still moved the ball. They still drained time off the clock. I don't think Colorado even got it back till about 2.5 or 3.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't put points up, but we kept the ball away from them. We took time off the clock. We made it known that you're not getting back into this game. This game was over at halftime. Y'all just didn't know it yet.
Right.
So I got to give all credit to Tony White, all of our defensive coaches, all the black shirts, everybody that contributes on that defense day in, day out. I'm not just the black shirts, not just the starters. Everybody on down that whole depth chart.
Right.
Kudos to all of you for not letting up the entire fucking game, which is exactly what everybody was asking for. And you absolutely delivered from their very first offensive snap to the very last offensive snap they took. You did not let up once. You played, for the most part, disciplined, but you were definitely relentless and violent.
Which is what we wanted.
All we wanted.
That's what we wanted to see. A clean, crisp win.
Yes.
Good old Nebraska win.
Now we could go on and on, I'm sure, about how much we hate Colorado still, how much we enjoyed watching them get the living shit kicked out of them the entire game. But we got to move on. We got a couple more things to do. We'll go ahead and move our asses to old Husker Twitter. It was so much fun to look for stuff last night. I didn't have to. There was no controversial tweets. There really wasn't. Like, nobody complaining about anything. It was just a night of receipts and hearing nothing but crickets from most of all of Colorado Twitter. So it was wonderful. It'll be a great Husker Twitter to go over. So here we got our first one here. This was awesome to have going on there. You had Bud Crawford at the game, leading the team out of the tunnel walk. I love it.
Yeah, that was dope.
That tweet right there came from the official Nebraska football Twitter account there. So, and it just had the caption, "Came to fight." Damn right they did. They royally came to fight. Mm-hmm. And I'd say they hit the body blows in that first quarter. Then they went ahead and threw the haymaker in the second, putting that 28 up.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we wanted, guys. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Nebraska football. Y'all came to fight. Bud Crawford, being right there with him, I thought that was a great thing.
Yeah, that was dope, man. That was cool.
All right. Just for the hell of it, I loved the picture. I loved the seat. It is probably one of the best selfies I saw. So this one's from Joe Radke. I'm trying to... the AF... Bathlete? At AF Bathlete? Is that what I'm reading? I can't quite tell. But he just says...
AFib athlete, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. I was like, Bathlete? What the hell am I reading? Jesus. But yeah, great picture by you, Joe Radke. It just says, "We here, let them know Husker Nation, hashtag go big, or GBR, hashtag Huskers." So I loved the picture. I thought it was a great thing that he put out there. So, Joe, thanks, man. Awesome pick. Glad you were at the game. Glad you enjoyed it. All right, this one I just thought was funny as hell. I see this account. We follow them. I think they follow us as well. This is Carolina Husker at Husker Tom 1994, and it's just LMAOOO. A picture of Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants looking like he's standing in a nightmare. A bunch of kind of like monster things around him.
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
All of them had the red N on them, and it just says Shadur Sanders every drop back.
On his neck.
Oh,
On
God.
his neck.
It
On
it
his neck.
was relentless pressure on that guy. Just relentless.
Yeah.
They had a they pinned their ears back, man. And we really only blitzed like 7 or 8 times. We were getting pressure with the down 3.
That's what we need, man.
And that shouldn't happen.
Right. Yeah. Should never happen.
This one I thought you'd like, Kenny. This one was posted. It was actually a video, so I had to take a quick screenshot of it, and I caught it perfectly. So this one was from Matt Sass or whatever. We don't follow him. I don't think he follows us, but I just love the tweet. It says, the black shirt sacked Shadur Sanders 6 times on Saturday night with the skull and crossbones emoji. And it says, hey, at Coach Knighton, how you feeling? And it's just Coach Knighton standing there trolling Shadur with the little watch, the little wrist action up. And I loved it. Coach Knighton and Death Row, they brought it, bro. They brought it. Coach Knighton knows what he's got.
Yeah. I mean,
he's got killers right now.
About time, man. It's about time.
To hell with Sap, and they had guns and bullets on their defensive line. Then guess what? We're bulletproof, Sap. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
this is how you coach a D line, buddy.
Good job.
All right. We got Husker Bites. This is at Husker Bites. They simply said defense looked phenomenal. Offense, I think, was playing too conservative in the second half. I get it, though, for clock. Also, too many damn penalties. We kind of touched on that already. He's absolutely right, or she. I apologize. I don't mean to just assume. But, yes, maybe they were a little conservative in that second half. Of course, you're up 28-0, then 28-3. Yeah, you're going to keep trying to run the ball. You're going to keep trying to just run that clock. And that's exactly what they said. You want to run clock off there. We said that a little bit ago. But they're right. The penalties. Some were absolute bullshit calls. Absolute bullshit. Some were correct. So Rule's not going to be happy with how many penalties there were toward the end of that game. It was a laundry fest. I had never seen even the play-by-play guy. Even Colt McCoy was taken back by how many flags were being thrown.
That's just a lack of focus. It's not a lack of preparation. That's just a lack of focus from the players.
Yeah.
Now, some we can dispute some of the calls.
Yes.
But when it's a blatant call,
but not all.
That's a lack of focus by a player.
It was.
Some stuff you just don't do. You know what I mean? You should be. That's where not old Nebraska, but last couple of years we played a lot of undisciplined football.
Yes. And it cost us games.
And it's cost us games. Disciplined football teams don't lose those games.
And
they don't put themselves in position to have to dig themselves out of it. Yeah,
like Rule said, I think they interviewed him right after the game, and he said something like, "They're just," and maybe it was after halftime. He said the guys are just playing complimentary football right now. That's exactly what they did. The defense was complimenting the offense. The offense was complimenting the defense by, granted, like I said, not putting up points, but they're giving the defense time to rest.
Right.
You go on a 4, 5, 6 minute drive. If you don't put up points, your defense is well rested and probably hungry as hell to get back out there.
So with that being said, how often have I said that in the last couple of years?
Oh my God. I think you've probably said it at least half a dozen times each season we've done this.
It was keeping the defense fresh, which you can see the results of. In the past, we've run plays like I did the time under Scott. When I calculated we ran 3 plays in a matter of 15 game clock seconds.
Yes.
And the defense was right back out there.
Yep.
That's not a break.
No.
It's not a sustainable drive. It's not getting first down or first downs or moving the chains to move the clock. You may not have gotten a field goal, or you may not have gotten a touchdown. But the defense is fresh. And this is where chess comes into place. Okay, we got it here. Let's punt it here. Let's try to put them here. Hopefully the defense can stop so we can get a shorter field. And when they punt, and then that's the way the game is played. But like you said, they were fresh.
I'm glad you brought up the punting there, too, because we found another facet of Raiola's repertoire. The little pooch punt from about the 50-yard line. Granted, it carried into the end zone just barely, but, man, he damn near pinned that thing inside the 5.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I was like, is that who I think it is kicking?
That's what I said. I'm like, we're going for it on 4th and 12. What are we doing?
He kicked it. That was something.
If he would have pinned that thing inside the 5, dude, you'd have had everybody being like, what can't this kid do?
Yeah, place would have erupted.
He tried. He really tried. He just didn't have that backspin on it. He didn't have the, I don't know what they call it in golf, where it just dies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That ball where it goes and just.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? We got, all right, just 3 more of Twitter, and then we'll do our field generals, and then final thoughts, and we're out of here, brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, yes. This one was from John Gard, at John Gard 1 on Twitter. In conclusion, my thoughts are the same one I woke up this morning. Fuck CU, GBR. Oh, and you fake CU fans are pussies, like your team. Simply a Twitter team and fan base. Husker fans, I apologize for the profanity. This was like 92, not quite 94, but we are getting there. For those of you as old as me, Sanders leaving the field looks like the Piston and an Isaiah Thomas walking off the court before the end of the Bulls sweep. I loved the references. He's spot on with everything he said there. I believe he is correct. This was more like 92 on Halloween night against Colorado, not quite 94 when it was number 2 versus number 3. But we're getting there.
Yeah. So who left the field? Dion or?
Yeah.
Oh, he just ran out the field?
No, Shedeur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. I know he was banged up. We saw him get hurt on the sideline. People may not have thought it was hurt, but we saw it. He was hurt. But
I'll say this.
He should have stayed out there. He should have stayed out there, but he was hurt though. I did see that, so I didn't know he walked up field, but we did. So we got hurt. Me and Big Zadis was sitting over there. We were like, "Oh, he's hurt."
Okay.
The one by the sideline where he fell or whatever, he was hurt. When he got up, I think that's like his walking, his movement. He had a gait, his throwing. He was hurt, but he should have still stayed out there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You can stand out there if you win.
Yes.
Stand out there when you lose.
Yeah. And the way I looked at it was, dude, your brother got his forearm broke in the first quarter. His ass stayed out there. And granted, he had to go in, get all his shit off. Then he had a sling and a little cast on. But he stayed out there till the end of that game once he was back on the sideline. Mm-hmm. You don't think he wasn't in some pain? I guarantee a broken forearm hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they probably gave him some hydrocodone or something to kill the pain, but that wears off.
Some good stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he got a shot of some good stuff, but it still wears off.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, this one, I had to pull this one because it's great. Scott from Gen Red. Ken, you guys always talk about it on there. Scott, you have been off of Twitter for so damn long. I caught this and I had to get it on there. But my man Scott from Gen Red Pod, he just simply told I have returned for a few seconds to say, go Big Red, fuck the Buffaloes, and Iowa's corn sucks. That is all. Back to my peace and quiet. So, Scott, so glad you posted something, dude. I'm so glad I caught it too.
That's hilarious.
I love Scott, man. I
man.
love how he signs off on Gen Red every episode when he's on there.
Excuse me.
Always finds something to compare Iowa's corn to that is horrible. And, ooh, bless you, my brother.
Yeah. It's on me.
Dude, the way Scott does that at the end of Gen Red, it always makes me laugh, man.
Yeah, that's too funny.
All right, last of Husker Twitter. This one's from Ben Stevens, at Ben Scott Stevens. Nebraska's win tonight is the first versus Colorado since 2010. Also, our first non-conference win versus power conference opponent since 2016. Nebraska's first 2-0 start for the Huskers since 2016.
Even worse.
Yes! And he goes on to say, a statement made in year 2 of Matt Rule. This one felt different. And that, to me, was the theme for almost all the fans. This just feels different. I don't know what it is.
We didn't blow it.
And you never felt like we were gonna.
Correct.
Oh, it was so damn refreshing.
We didn't blow it. We didn't blow the big game. And like I said earlier, it was Colorado we didn't blow the big game against.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. So I said, enjoy it. Don't start the charade of, oh, we're back and this. No, enjoy it. Let's ride it. Let's let it progress. Let's let it happen naturally. Don't put it out there, because that's where people like myself, as a former player, get pissed at you all for that. Don't take it personal. That's where you get pissed when we start, oh, yeah, we're just, nah, we ain't shit. Until we start being in position every year with the expectation being a national championship.
Till we can go back to.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yes, till we can go back to pointing at a schedule and being like, that's a win. That's a win.
Yeah, we're not there. This is a win that we needed to win and should have won, where we didn't choke.
Yes.
That's the difference.
And never felt like we were gonna.
And we never felt like it's coming.
No, it never felt that way. Like, I was very confident every time somebody was carrying the ball. I was confident every time Raiola dropped back to throw. Yeah. I'm just like, but I know it's going to happen. I know he's going to throw an interception sooner or later. Yeah. It should have happened during that game, honestly. Yeah. But Ramir just did an amazing job staying with it. But it will happen. He'll have his bad game. He'll have his down. But I think he'll react exactly how you hope somebody at that position would react.
Forget about it and keep going.
Exactly. I think the way Dominic and his mom have raised him I don't know if they could have done much better.
Yeah.
To see how poised he is at this age is ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. So there's our Husker Twitter. Last thing for as far as graphics go, we got to give you guys our field generals of the week. And this time I remembered to put the names in. Scroll. There we go. On defense, we got Tommy Hill. He had the pick 6. I mean, you got to give him that. And not to mention, he looked great in the secondary. I don't know who he was covering, actually, Hunter, most of that night. Granted, yeah, Hunter managed to get a little over 100 yards, but he didn't have that big explosive play. He didn't have no 50, 60, 70 some yard bomb for a touchdown or nothing. He was pretty much kept in check. He had to really earn all those yards. And you could see him getting pretty upset as that game was going on. And as Tommy said in his press conference afterward, Hunter was talking a lot of trash during that game. A lot. But by the fourth quarter, he said he wasn't talking anymore. And then, offensively, I've got to give it to Dante Dowdell. I mean, 77 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, and then not to mention, you took out Shiloh Sanders, buddy. You earned Field General of the Week for that alone. If you wouldn't have scored anything, if that had been the only carry and yardage you had, you may have been the offensive field general of the week anyway. So I'm just saying that put him right up there for me.
Yeah, you ran the ball hard. Well.
All right, Kenny, I think we covered it, bro. We've been hating on Colorado for much, much longer than a week as far as royally dedicating to it. I think we've said about all we could for it. It's over. It was decisive. It was dominating. It's what we wanted.
Right.
Granted, we're Husker fans. We're greedy. We would have loved a lot more points. We'd have loved double that score.
Absolutely.
Just because of the opponent. Just because of the opponent.
Yeah. It's Colorado.
So, all right. So, it was great, Husker Nation. Great win. Like Kenny said, huge for the program. Huge for the players. The state, the fan base, as Kenny said, the Husker Nation entity in itself. Kind of like Hulkamania. It's got to stay alive, man. It's got to stay alive. And last night just royally gave it that shot of adrenaline it's been dying to have.
Yep.
So,
totally agree.
Man, it was fun. Now we got to move on. We got Northern Iowa this next week. Another night game in Lincoln. And then Illinois on a Friday night game after that in Lincoln. Then we start going on the road.
Uh-oh.
I think our first road game might be at Purdue. I can't remember, but that might be our first road game.
We have to check it out.
It'll be one of those things. So hopefully we're talking about it. Hopefully we're talking about another win this next episode. But you just never know. We're not at that point yet where we can say that.
Right.
So we'll go ahead and shut her down now, folks. At this point, it's pretty easy to figure out. You know where to find Kenny on Twitter and Instagram. You've got him right there, Husker Noop 1911. For Matt, you can find him on Twitter at Herbie_Husker15. For myself, I just pretty much run the Husker Army Pod account on Twitter and Instagram. And you find us right there at Husker Army Pod, and absolutely find us on YouTube. Just Google Husker Army Podcast. When you get there, like and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification so you know when we upload our new episodes, just in case you miss the announcement of when it's out.
Right.
So if you Google Husker Army Podcast, we pop right up, especially YouTube first. You go there, you like, subscribe. Then you find us on Apple Podcasts. You find us on Spotify. Plenty more audio-only platforms to find us. Give us a follow, like, and subscribe on there as well. Leave us comments. We find them. We get back to you pretty much instantly on YouTube. So, Kenny, so much fun. Now we got to move on. It almost bittersweet that it's over.
Yeah. It's behind us now.
It is. And it's almost like that post-Christmas feeling like,
yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
What's next?
It was here. Now it's gone.
Yep.
Damn. All right. So everybody, hopefully a little bit of a treat for you if you stick around at the end of this. I'm going to try and pull it up. If you guys want to relive the game just for the hell of it, I'm going to go ahead and add on the 12 or 13 minutes of highlights from the broadcast in itself. You guys can relive the little 12 or 13 minute joyride as much as we did. So if you want to relive the game, stay tuned after we sign off here. I think you guys will enjoy it. I've watched it 2 or 3 times already. I can't get enough. So it's not Monday yet. I don't have to move on. I'm a fan. The rest of the team does. I'm sorry. So you know where to find us. You know where to find Kenny. At this point, there's only one thing left to do. You stick around at the end of this to watch the highlights because you're a true blue Husker fan. But other than that, at ease, and you all dismissed.
John Hole gets it started. Jimmy Horn Jr. awaits. From his own 2, catches it the second time. He's got speed, and he's brought down at the 21-yard line. Nebraska brings 4. Sanders in trouble. Down he goes! Ty Robinson.
Kind of starts with him up front.
Nebraska converted over half of the third downs last week. Their first one here, 3rd and 10. Raiola got a lot of room to run, and he picks up the first by himself. Hit from behind, it goes down to the 37. Cameron Silman Craig finally got to him. First down after a gain of 13. First drive for Nebraska tonight. Dante Dowdell, big room up the middle, and a strong finish to the 11. And Dante Dowdell would be the ones to get the most carries, and they've seen that so far tonight. Dowdell again up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska.
24 right here. He's going to pull through the line of scrimmage and create a great hole for Dante Dowdell to run through. And I mean it.
And the Huskers lead by 7. Jimmy Horn Jr. on the other side here. His second kick return tonight. Cross the 20, cut back at the 30 and still going. He's got speed to burn inside of Nebraska territory. Couldn't quite turn the corner. Sanders in trouble again. Second sack tonight. Nash Hutmaker. 7 yards deep. Lets it go to the sideline. Big 6. Tommy Hill. The short run to the house.
It is loud. He's been sacked a couple times already. He's just a little bit late throwing to the field. And Tommy Hill breaks on this football, has eyes on the quarterback, great vision.
Ended last season in the Big Ten #1 in passes defended. The good stretch and the catch there, and the short jaunt to the house. 4-man rush. Sanders in trouble, trying to escape. Eyes downfield. Once again, he goes down. Needs one here on 3rd and 8. Another 5-man rush. Sanders sacked again. Down to the 32. Jamari Butler in. Loss of 2. Prime time, it's nice to turn and hand the ball off with that kind of success. This time it's a play action. Rolling, looking, letting it go to the end zone. What a catch to come back and get it on the 2-yard line. Jalen Lloyd dropped one earlier. 36 yards sets him up 1st and goal. Dante Dowdell, the tailback, he smells a second touchdown of the night, and he gets it. Yard line. Dante Dowdell knows what to do with it from there. It's all Huskers so far. They lead by 21. 4-man rush. Sanders, nice pocket. There's a strike across the 50-yard line. Inside of Nebraska territory goes Travis Hunter. Best play yet for the Buffalo offense.
Let's just get a completion. We're 2nd and long right here. Let's get it into a 3rd and manageable situation where we might get a favorable look.
3-man rush on 2nd and 15. Again over the middle. And another bullet, this time to Will Shepard. Down to the 27-yard line. 2,000 receiving yards at Vanderbilt and 19 there. Out to try and erase that 0 on the left side of the scoreboard from 30 yards out. Low, blocked, no good. That rule says they'd like to get to the 35 to really think about a field goal. Look at that pocket. And a bullet down to the 48. Giant hit. 2 flanks come in. Linebacker Trevor Woods gain of 16, and that could cost him the rest of his game. Raiola, here comes a safety blitz, gets rid of it. Almost intercepted, then caught, and a touchdown, Ramir Johnson. Wow.
Ball goes right through his hands. Unlucky break for the Colorado Buffaloes. And great job by Ramir Johnson just staying with it. And they have performed really, really well.
Down 28, first offensive play for Shedeur Sanders in the second half. Under duress, that's a leaping effort and a great catch by Wester. They go to the air. Here comes a corner blitz. Lets it go to the far sideline. Caught at the 5-yard line. Will Shepard. Deion Sanders looking for that first point tonight. And that is low, but it goes through. Boy, breaks a tackle around the edge across the 25. And a strong finish with a power at the beginning and the end for 14.
It's nice to see. They get some movement, get Dallin Hayden running with his pads downhill.
Sanders been much better since the first quarter. A quick hitter out to the left across the 25 and 30. Another first down, Colorado. And dragging tacklers out to the 42 is Dallin Hayden. Started the second half of last year. Raiola again over the middle, and that is a perfect touch pass out to the 43-yard line. First catch of his season. Moves the chains. Emmett Johnson now the tailback, and they go with the reverse. Down here to the near sideline, Ja'Cory Barney with an alley. How much do they love to get him the ball? Ryan Buschini going to punt this one away. Oh, it's blocked. Had his punt blocked. Penalty marker comes in after the block as the ball fluttered out of bounds. And they are in control. Shedeur Sanders hands off. Dallin Hayden hasn't been touched yet. Former Buckeye out near the 40-yard line of Nebraska.
They throw a quick route to Jimmy Horn, makes a big play.
Drop back, blitz coming. Lets it go. Diving catch for the touchdown. LaJohntay Wester. First 6 of the night for Colorado.
Good throw by Shedeur Sanders here. Nebraska's going to heat him up, so it creates a one-on-one matchup. He finds LaJohntay Wester on an out route and just sneaks across the goal line for Colorado.
Then to 11 wins. And Ryan Staub stepping up as he was being dragged down. The ball wasn't picked off. It was batted into the air. Ty Robinson says it's Nebraska football. I think that's Jamari Butler at the bottom of the pile. And yes, it is. Victory formation for the Cornhuskers. And this will be victory number 2 for Nebraska. Offense scored, defense scored. They were in control the entire way. 73rd meeting sees the Cornhuskers roll 28-10.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.